So if you've ever tried to learn French, you have for sure run into this one huge, confusing puzzle. Where on earth do you put the adjectives? I mean, do they go before the noun? After it? And does it even matter? Well, the answer is yes, it matters a lot. And in the next few minutes, we are going to crack this code together. So what is the big deal here? You know, in English, things are pretty simple. The adjective just hangs out right before the noun. But in French, oh, they're a lot more adventurous. It might seem totally random at first, but believe me, there's a hidden logic to it all, and we're about to uncover it. Okay, let's just dive right in with a classic example. Un grand homme versus un homme grand. They look almost identical, right? But one of them means a great man, and the other means a tall man. So which is which? Stick with me, because you're about to find out exactly why just moving that one little word changes everything. All right, to solve this whole puzzle, we've got to start somewhere. And lucky for us, there's one main rule that's going to cover you most of the time. This is our foundation, so let's start here. Here it is, the big one. The fundamental rule is this. In French, the adjective almost always comes after the noun. Think of this as your default setting, especially when you're just describing something objective, like its color, its shape, or where it's from. Let's see this in action. It's pretty straightforward. A blue pen? That becomes un stylo bleu. An interesting story is une histoire intéressante. And the black cat is le chat noir. See that pattern? Adjective comes right after the noun, every single time. Simple enough, right? Of course, this is French we're talking about, so you know there are going to be some beautiful little exceptions. But don't worry, there is a super simple trick to remembering the handful of adjectives that love to break this rule. And that trick? That key to mastering all of this comes down to one single super memorable word. This is how you'll remember all the adjectives that decide to go before the noun. The word you need to burn into your brain is bangs. That's B-A-N-G-S. This little mnemonic is basically your cheat code for French adjectives. So what in the world does it stand for? Okay, let's break down bangs. B stands for beauty. Think words like beau or joli. A is for age, like jeune, vieux, or nouveau. N is for number, first, second, third, you got it. G stands for goodness, and that covers both good and bad, so words like bon and mauvais. And finally, S is for size, so grand, petit, gros. If an adjective fits into one of these little boxes, it's almost always going to jump in front of the noun. Now let's see it in the wild. A handsome boy is un beau garçon. A new car, une nouvelle voiture. A good wine is un bon vin. And a small house is une petite maison. See? In every single one of these, the bangs adjective comes first. The system works. Okay, so you've got the main rule down and you know all about the bangs exceptions. Now we get to the really cool part, what I like to call the two-faced adjectives. These are like linguistic chameleons. They totally change their meaning depending on where you put them. Let's take the word ancien. If you put it before a noun, like in mon ancien professeur, it means former. That's my former teacher. But if you put it after the noun, as in un meuble ancien, it suddenly means ancient. It's like it goes from a figurative meaning to a very literal one. Next up, we've got pauvre. Le pauvre homme is the unfortunate man, the poor guy you feel sorry for. But un homme pauvre is a man who is literally poor, as in he has no money. So the placement totally shifts the meaning from an emotional state to a financial one. Now let's look at cher. It's all about what kind of value we're talking about. If it's before the noun, mon cher ami means my dear friend. That's all about emotional value. But put it after, and un livre cher means an expensive book. We're talking pure monetary value. And finally, let's check out propre. When it's before the noun, ma propre chambre means my own room, really emphasizing that it belongs to me. But after the noun, in chambre propre, just means a clean room. So it's the difference between ownership and, well, hygiene. So here's a quick little summary of those two-faced adjectives we just covered. Honestly, this is a great slide to screenshot. It just lays it all out for you, the figurative meaning versus the literal meaning, all based on where you put the word. Okay, so we've got the main rule, we've got the bangs exceptions, and we've got the tricky meaning changers. I think it's time we put it all together and really put it to the test with a full French sentence. Let's take a look at this sentence. Mon cher ami a acheté une belle voiture rouge dans sa propre petite ville. Now that translates to, my dear friend bought a beautiful red car in his own small town. This sentence is absolutely packed with adjectives, so let's break it down piece by piece. So why is everything where it is? Well, cher comes before Emmy because it's one of our two-faced adjectives, meaning dear. Then belle is before voiture because beauty is a bangs adjective. But rouge comes after the noun because color follows the main rule. Next, prop is before ville to mean own, another two-facer. And finally, petite is also before the noun because size is a bangs adjective. See, every single placement has a reason. It all fits together. And just like that, you've cracked the code. Now you get it. You know exactly why un grand homme is a great man, while un homme grand is just a tall man. It all comes down to this simple system. Start with the main rule, remember your bangs exceptions, and just keep an eye out for those tricky meaning changers. So the only question left is, are you ready to get out there and start describing the world in French, but with way more confidence and precision? You have the tools now. The puzzle is officially solved. Go put them to use.